steady rhythm. I can lean upon every step I stand on. You don't let me fall. Love becomes a shelter, holding through it all. Carry me home. Hey y'all. When I can't find my way. Hold me close. Let the dark fade away. Hey, Memory. Y'all, look at this incense holder I have. This is literally my favorite thing. It's like the astrology. Isn't this so cool? I can't even remember where I got this from. I think it was like Spencer's or something. Put that up. Let me turn this down a little bit. I discovered this new artist today named Sienna Rose, and she's like jazz, but like I guess it don't feel like jazz. To me, it don't feel like jazz. It feel like R&B, but it has like jazz components. And I've been obsessed with her all freaking day. So I've just been listening. This is my favorite song. Can y'all hear the music or no? Hold on. Can y'all hear the music? Or is it too low? But anyways, her name is Sienna Rose, and she like does like more jazz. Like I've been kind of getting more into like old school Aretha and like stuff like that. And so my cousin sent me her today, and I just really genuinely love her music. I feel like it's so good. Anyways, what I want to hop on here today and do because what I want to hop on here today and do, because I got like about an hour and 30 minutes before my next client. I wanted to hop on here and do some readings because yesterday I promised that I would get back on, and I ended up not getting back on because I was tired after I got off of my client. The session ran longer than I expected it to. And so although I couldn't get on yesterday, I still wanted to get on today and do some readings if y'all are interested in doing some readings today. But I had such a great morning, y'all. Like since last time that I was on here, I was talking to y'all about how I feel like my identity changed overnight. Like I was reading this book called I Am, and it really helped me to unpack some of the identities that I decided on when I was younger and just didn't have perspective in life. And so I was able to go back and like unpack some of them identities, and like the way that I've been moving this entire week is just so different. Like I feel like a completely different person. And so because I've been doing things different or just thinking about life differently, I feel like I have welcomed in so many things into my life that before I probably would have rejected, or I probably would have never really considered, being a part of some of the opportunities that come my way, because I think that I have for a long time kept myself small and like in a box based off of what I think or who I think I am, And so a really great opportunity came to me this week, and I actually considered it this time. And it's something I've been kind of putting off for such a long time because I've been kind of consulting on it, but just not investing in it, And so this week I decided to commit to that. And I actually got to meet the person today who I will be collaborating with. And it was such a great freaking experience. Like, I'm just excited. Like this feels like a new me, a new chapter, a new whatever. Yesterday I got my book, The Artist Way. Hold on, let me block you because we don't even do that over here, baby. But anyways, I got this book yesterday, The Artist Way, and it's supposed to help you as a creator. And I think what we don't understand or what we don't get is that we're always creating, whether we want to or not. Like every day that you wake up, every choice that you make is a creation, right? Because we are the creation and the creator. So our identities that we associate ourselves with are helping us to create our reality. And so this book is really interesting because it tells you how to get yourself out of creative block. And so if you are stuck in life, you have a creative block, right? And so this book, I have been wanting to get this book for about shit. It's probably been about a year. Like I feel like I really was dedicated to getting it after what's her name on here? It's a Jacqueline. It's a girl on here named Jacqueline. And she does like the Real Her podcast or whatever. She was promoting it for a long time, but I honestly feel like I wasn't ready. I was still in this place of playing the victim and not taking control over my life. And so now that I'm in this other place, the book just keeps coming back up. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just grab the book. Let me just try. Let me just see what it's about. And I am excited. I start this on Monday. And I've been in a really creative energy. I told you I've been writing poetry. I've been writing book excerpts. I've been doing all kind of shit. And I feel like I've been in the creative energy this whole year. Like I didn't even consider like what I did. This is The Artist Way. It's by Julia Cameron. But you can get it on TikTok for super, super cheap. I can't even remember what I paid for this, but baby, barely anything. For it to be the type of book that changes people out. Like this is the book that Doechii wrote her last album from. Like I think she was the first person that I seen on this app talking about this book. And she was talking about how she had first picked up this book like a couple years ago and she was not ready when she first started this book because it requires you to every single day create, right? And she just wasn't in the space. And so when she got in the space, hey Lisa, when she got in the space, hey Leslie, she came back to this book and it literally changed the way that she was showing up as an artist. It gave her confidence back. It gave her identity back. It gave her all of these things that she had kind of robbed herself of because she was not trusting in herself as a creator. She was trying to worrying about the projections and shit of other people, right? And so this book is supposed to help you to get back into your authenticity and help you to create from that place, right? And so it was brought back up to me yesterday and I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. And so I bought it. And so I think it's a 12-week program, but I start tomorrow. And so before I even start the soul school, I wanted to have this done or like have looked at myself through this lens because I just want the next chapter for me to look like me. I don't want it to look like nobody else. I don't care what my mama want. I don't care what my granny want. I don't care what nobody want. What do I want? And so I start this on Monday. So if you have this book and you want to start with me on Monday, please join in. I would love to have a community while I go through this because I know that this is probably going to be hard for me, So if you don't have this book, I would suggest it. But I also realized this year I just been in the creative energy, but I also live in a house or apartment, whatever you want to call it, that matches the frequency of 3, which is the frequency of creation, And so I made this whole deck. I don't think that this is a creation. That's crazy to me. I didn't even consider this as a creation. Why would I not do that? So anyways, I'm in this flow and I'm just, since I've cleaned my apartment, I feel like I've really gotten the clarity that I need. Like, not that my apartment was dirty. It was just that going through everything and making sure that whatever's not allowing me anymore, getting rid of it and just opening up space for things that I don't hold on to just because I'm in this scarcity place and I think that things are going to go wrong. Instead, trusting that things are always working out for my favor and seeing the lesson and everything. And so today I was talking to one of my co-creators or co-collaborators, and we were just talking about life. And it's like, after I got off the 2 meetings that I had this morning to kind of help with this situation, because I'm gonna end up being somebody's like brand manager. And I can't wait for us. Anyways, I can't tell y'all too much. But after I got off the call with her this morning, I sat outside and I just was staring at the sky, reflecting about like how I have been keeping myself so small and not allowing myself to experience good things, or I was so identified with my pain that I thought that my only value came from the pain, and not realizing that my value comes from the wisdom that I gained from the pain, not the pain itself. And so I was like, I didn't know who I was outside of helping people. Like, I did not know who I was outside of trying to help people through their trauma. And so now that I'm in this place where I realize I don't have to do that, and it's too big of a motherfucking task for one person anyway, right? And I can just allow myself to be happy and see where that takes me. Since I decided that, I am just a new person. Like, and I'm happy about this person. Like, I'm allowing myself to be happy. I'm allowing myself to say hi to people. I'm allowing myself to just, like, it's like I'm not in my head thinking too much about it. And why should I be? You know, like I'm just allowing things to unfold the way that they unfold. And I trust that whatever comes in my reality is teaching me something. And I'm always looking for the lesson instead of trying to protect myself from having an experience, you know, because I'm judging the experience. I think that when you invalidate the experiences that you're going through, or you judge your experience as being bad, right? You don't see the lesson in it because you're stuck in the this is happening to me, woe was me energy. When everything is teaching you, one thing that I've been telling myself recently is that, or one thing that I've been asking myself recently is, what version of me would need to see this? What version of me would need to see this in my reality? And since I have been doing that, it shifted everything, because it's like, oh, this is teaching me this. Oh, okay, I didn't have the lens or the glasses for this before. It makes sense why it would come up now. You know, it's like it's been helping me to point out my blind spots, and instead of treating it as if like it's a punishment, I've literally just been like, oh, what version of me needs to experience this? Oh, okay, so then that means I need to shift here. I need to change. I need to, and I don't even want to look at it like I'm fixing myself, because I don't think that I'm fixing myself at all. I just think that it's refinement. I think life is ultimately about refinement and authenticity. You're trying to become the most true version of you, the most authentic version of you, right? But society has told us it's about performance and perfection, which pulls you away from yourself. It disembodies you. And so I've just been trying to move in alignment with my truth and not care about how other people receive my truth, or not trying to help other people understand me. Wow, why would my live be restricted? That's really crazy. Um, the live is not eligible for recommendation, is restricted in search results because it redirects users to purchase products outside of TikTok. I did not do that. That's so strange. Anyways, because I got that off of TikTok. But anyways, these people are always bothering me. Anywho, I forgot what I was saying. Yes, the artist way. They also have a workbook to go with it. I need to get back into creating in my own energy. Oh, is this not the one that has the workbook? Because the person who told me to buy it told me to buy the, oh, she said the 25th edition. I guess the 25th edition has the workbook already in it. This is the 30th edition. Oops. I might have to buy the workbook. Thank you, whoever said that. I need to get back into my creating in my own energy. Yes, I definitely think you should. I'm gonna start on Monday. So if y'all want to start this, y'all definitely can. I'm happy about you feeling new. You're an inspirational leader, and I appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Dee. Oh, I have to get the artist way. Yeah, I just felt like it was time. Like, I feel like it keeps showing up in my reality. And if it keeps showing up in my reality, then I need to take it serious and see why it keeps showing up in my reality. Because there's something obviously in this book. Oh, there's like a little bit of workbook stuff in here. But there's little exercise I can do in here. You know what? That just kind of threw me. The restriction being pushing people to buy stuff outside of TikTok. They're restricting people's lives if they don't shop on TikTok, specifically from TikTok. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But anyways, I hopped on here to do some readings. So if any of y'all want a reading, let me know. I don't even know what type of reading to do. Like, I feel like I've been in the mood to do more psychic readings, because my gifts, I've realized I am my gifts, and that has strangely changed the way my gifts are coming through and how strong they're coming through. Because I'm not trying to achieve something, or I don't see myself as being separate of the thing, you know. Appeal not approved. That's really insane. Anyways, hi everyone. Hey, let's go woo woo podcast. Okay, woo woo. I like a little woo woo. Yeah, thank you, Laura. So yeah, like even the music that I'm listening to, like I've been listening to a lot of Olivia Dean, because I think that who I used to listen to was like Mariah the Scientist, Summer Walker, but them girls, I don't want to judge them girls. I love them girls. You know, go through whatever you feel like you need to go through. Sometimes I think you need to do it the wrong way to figure out what's the way for you, you know? And not even saying that it's the wrong way, the way that they move in, but I just think that I'm in a different place right now. And I kind of feel out of resonance with that specific type of music. And so I've been trying to find people who are still communicating honest emotions, but from a place of self-worth and from a place of self-respect. And like, so I've been listening to Olivia Dean, and I've been kind of calling in that energy. And today, like I said, I found this artist, Sienna Rose, who's kind of doing the same thing. And I've been listening to her all day. Like her voice, A1, and her lyrics are like poetry. And so it just feels really good. And I'm just been trying to keep myself in a specific frequency. Um, and just making sure that everything in my reality is aligned with me. Oh, I love Savannah Christina as well. And so I have this playlist on Apple Music called the Glow Playlist, and it's a bunch of songs where I feel like it's talking about empowerment and it's talking about uh, self worth. And like Amber Mark has a song called Worth It. That's a really good song. But Savannah Christina is actually on that playlist, like one of her songs. I'll tell you what song. Oh no, I can't tell you. I don't know if I can tell you from this phone, because this is like an old phone, and I don't think it has all of my playlist. Yeah, it doesn't. Um, but anyway, yeah, I love Amber Mark too, and I seen her. So it was a music festival in San Diego, and it was called Soul Bloom, and it was just like a bunch of like soulful artists, and Amber Mark was there, and she did such a good job, and I was like obsessed with her at that time. Um, so I love her personality because I think her stage presence is really great. I think she's a really good artist that is often slept on. I'll have to check those ladies out. Yeah, Savannah's good. Sienna Rose is Sienna, and then Rose. The she dropped the EP like earlier this month, but the one that I've been listening to that I feel like is literal gold. Really, they all good if I'm being honest, because I've been listening to her all day. Um, but Velvet Embrace, that EP, oh, we don't deserve you. We don't deserve you, girl. Um, but yeah, I've been trying to find like new things too that I'm interested in, like candle making. I don't know why I want to make candles and make my own soap, but that's what I've been interested in lately. And so I'm about to get a candle kit. Well, really, I have like these jars that I just wanted to refill eventually. So I kind of been collecting the jars for the candles. And so I want to do that. I kind of want to make my own soap. Like, I don't know, like I'm in this place too where like I want to redo my apartment, but I want to like make the pieces. Like I want to make the pieces so that I have unique pieces that are like that have my essence in it. And I really am good. Like when it comes to like I went to Arts Academy when I was younger. I was a dancer. I always got in trouble in art class though because I just was in a space. I was just bad at one point in time in my life. I used to put like tacks in this dude's seat because he used to annoy the fuck out of me. That's horrible. That's not a good thing to say, but he used to sit on the tacks, and I used to get written up. And so I got put out of Arts Academy too because I just played too fucking much. But anyways, I used to have like this very artsy energy about me, and I just kind of like lost that. And so I'm trying to get back to that. I've always kind of painted over the years because feel like I'm a pretty good painter. Like if I see something, I can recreate it, but I can't create from inside my head. Like I need inspiration just because of how my energy is set up. But I don't know. I just want to create some unique pieces or like, and I've also been in recently, like in this energy of wanting to like thrift in a way. And I don't know why I want to thrift, but I feel like I want like vintage, like one in a lifetime pieces. You know, like even when it comes to art, like that's why I hung up the art on the back of the wall, because this actually came from one of my clients and he created these for me. And I feel like I love stuff like that because it's very unique. It's very like not a lot of people are going to have this. And I don't know, I just I have a new appreciation for like lost things, forgotten things. I don't know, stuff like that. And so I think it's interesting because I've been stepping into this energy of understanding that I am art. I am the art itself. And so when I dress, I need to dress according to what my vibe is, you know, what my essence is. And I feel like in the past, because I was moving from this place of scarcity, I used to buy in bulk all the time. Just like what place can I go to and get a bunch of things for a cheap price instead of like dressing based off of what I actually want to wear, if that makes sense. So I'm moving into this new place and I'm really excited about it. Like I can't wait to see what I create with that, because I am a very stylish person. Like for people who know me, like I am a very stylish person. Like I really am good at putting things together. And so I'm just trying to see what that looks like from a place of like exploration, you know? And so recently I told y'all I cleaned my house and I went and I donated like 15 bags to the Goodwill. And I was thinking about this. Me and my brother went up to Santa Barbara one weekend and we went into this thrift shop, and this thrift shop was like top fucking tier, but they was charging like brand new prices. And I was like, I don't know if I would pay $80 for this 20-year-old jacket, you know, but I don't know. So I'm excited about it anyways. Y'all want to do some one card pulls or something before I hop off here in about 45 minutes? Anybody? Or I can put this deck up. It don't matter. Whichever way. I just wanted to open up space for y'all because yesterday I hopped on here and I said I was going to come back and I didn't. Okay, Miss J, Victoria. Okay, cool. So let's start with XOXOJ. It's J. If y'all new here, this is the Oversoul Codex that I created. Hey, Bridget. All right, so this card is for It's J. Okay, I got you. I'm going to just kind of do y'all order of operation. Okay, so the card I get for you, Miss J, is the Queen of Waters. This is what the card looks like. She's a baddie. She's a 10. And this card is the Water Mirror. Your energy seems like it's really opened up. Looks good on you. Thank you, girl. I'm happy. You know, like I feel like I haven't been allowing myself to actually be happy, to actually show my personality or anything. I've been gatekeeping myself, and I'm done with that. You're going to get what you get. And if you don't like it, well, you just don't like it. You know? So this is for It's J. This card is about emotional depth. It's about intuitive mastery, compassion, inner wisdom. It's about sacred boundaries. It's about radiant empathy, soul reflection, and energetic sovereignty. So the Queen of Waters is the embodiment of emotional wisdom, one who has walked through every wave, felt it all, and still chooses to remain open. She reflects without absorbing. She loves without losing herself. When this card appears, you're being called into emotional sovereignty. Okay, you're not being asked to shut down. You're not being asked to hold your water. I'm sorry, you are being asked to hold your water with grace, which means grace for yourself, the same compassion that you give other people, you need to give yourself. The same grace that you give other people, you need to give yourself. And grace is a really high frequency. If you do not know that, grace and compassion are really high frequencies. And that's why a lot of people don't know how to reach that place, right? And so this queen is a healer. This queen is a mystic. This queen is an empath who knows that her sensitivity is not weakness, it's her gift. Her emotional body is a mirror. Others see themselves in her presence. She teaches not by force, but by embodied example. This card is a reminder to return to your own inner waters. Let them nourish you before you offer your cup to another person, which means you got to learn how to prioritize what you need first. And then you worry about other people. So you got to be in an abundant state, and then you help other people. So the lesson here is that compassion is powerful, but only when it includes you. And so this is a card about realizing that you cannot abandon yourself to show up for other people. This is about you filling your own cup and you filling yourself up with so much love that now you have all this overflow, and then you can pour into other people. But the moment that you get out of overflow, you got to take care of you and take care of home first. Okay, so that was for It's J. Ooh, what's going on with my finger? Sorry. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, this one is for Victoria. Definitely needed to worry about myself first, working really hard on filling myself up now. Oh, good. I love that for you, boo. Yeah, always put your mask on first. That does not, make you selfish. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and she was like, I don't know why. I just feel every time I got to set a boundary, I feel like I'm being rude. And I'm like, yeah, that's because society told you that you're being rude when you set a boundary because it wants unlimited access to women. Do they not? Right? Because we're the insight. We're the one who builds the empires, whether or not we're the one standing on the front line. Right? We're the sacred well that they keep running dry. And of course they need unfeathered access to you, but that does not mean that you're being rude. You telling people what you need does not mean, or prioritizing what you need does not mean you abandoning somebody or you're intending to hurt them. It means you're realigning with yourself, you know? All right. So this is for my girl, Victoria. What's this? That's cute and all, but that's not what I want. All right. So Victoria, I get the water bearer, and she is actually in reverse. Okay, so this means this is coming out in the shadow side. The keywords here are emotional naivety, romantic idealism, lack of boundaries, oversensitivity, ungrounded feelings, or escapism. Okay, so in the shadow, the water bearer becomes ungrounded in their emotional landscape. You may be overwhelmed by your feelings, lacking discernment about what's yours and what's other people's, or projecting fantasies onto people and situations. This page may also signal emotional immaturity, approaching love or intuition with wishful thinking rather than embodied wisdom. Okay. There's beauty and openness, but without grounding, it can lead to confusion, disappointment, and burnout. So the advice of this card is to feel deeply. That's a gift, but learn how to carry the cup. Okay. Learn how to carry the cup. Your emotions are meant to give you grace, depth, and wisdom. And so make sure that you are anchoring into the emotional energy instead of reacting from the emotional energy. One thing that we have to understand about emotional energy is that it's wisdom that comes over time, which means that you have to wait until you get out of the wave of the emotion to make a decision from that place in order for you to be rooted in truth. Otherwise, you're just operating from your wounds. Okay. And so that was for Victoria. OMG, I'm an Aquarius 2 water bearer, also working on setting boundaries. Okay, good. Yeah, Aquarius are really good at compartmentalizing. So I think it might be just time for you to feel into that, my love. All right, so let's see who else. So we have D next. Let's do D real quick. What do we have for our girl D? All right. Child, D, you ain't gonna never be able to get away from this same. Let me not project that onto you. You will. But this is a card about sacred exchange. Okay, I got you, baby. So this is a card about sacred exchange. This is one of my favorite cards because look how gorgeous this is. You see how the energy is going in and going out. You know what I'm saying? This is coming out in the shadow though. And so in the shadow side of this energy, you're overwhelmed, you're burned out, you're imbalanced. Your energy may be scattered. It may be overcommitted. There might be financial worry or difficulty saying no. Okay. So in the shadow, the balance is lost. You may be doing too much for too many, feeling fragmented or stretched thin. And what you need to understand is your body is speaking to you, but are you listening? You might also feel stuck between two paths, unsure where to root. At the core of this shadow is the belief that your value comes from productivity. This card may also indicate imbalance in money, relationships, or attention. Perhaps you're giving freely and receiving little in return, or you're afraid to spend, invest, or trust in the flow. The earth holds abundance, but it requires stewardship. Okay. Shadow balance calls you to realign your priorities and to restore the sacred cycle. So the advice here is your energy is not infinite, baby. It's holy. Protect it accordingly. Okay. Yeah. Balance. Keeps coming up. Okay. Next, I'm doing hooked on Phi. Or is that Phi? Phi or Phi? Hooked on. I'm doing you next. So we got two cards that came out for you. And I'm going to give you both of them. All right. Are you still in the chat? Hooked on Phi? Okay. Phi. Okay, I got you. Yes, baby, I got you. Let me just get through. I'm going in order. Okay. So Phi, the card that I pulled for you is the Three of Flame. Okay. And as you can see, it's a man who's walking towards this door, right? He's walking this path and he's moving towards this door on his journey. Okay. This is a card about momentum. It's about alignment. It's about outward expression. It's about visionary focus, expansion, and creative motion. Okay. So the Three of Flames is a sign that your flame has found its rhythm. What was once internal, the spark, the mirror, is now being felt and seen in the outer world. You're in motion and the flame path is opening before you. There is alignment, forward movement, and a growing sense of purpose. This card often arises when your inner work begins to crystallize into form as a creative project, a new role, an offering, or vision made tangible. The flame path asks you to trust your unfolding without rushing it. This is not the time to grasp or to control outcomes. It's the time to walk in resonance with your flame and let it illuminate the next path. And then the next after that, the next step, and then the next step after that, and then the next step. So you need to kind of stay focused in the moment and ask yourself, what can I do right now to get me closer to the goal, and take one step at a time instead of looking at the full picture. Because I think sometimes when we look at the full picture, we get discouraged or we get dissatisfied with where we are, and we think we need to do more, which pushes us into this Russian energy, right? And so this card is telling you to stay rooted in your purpose, not performance. You don't have to perform. You don't have to do more. You just have to trust more. And so the lesson is, let your flame lead you, not your need for validation. Okay. Because it's not about performing so that you can get validation. And validation looks like you're trying to get a specific outcome. Right. And so the next card that I get for you is the Soul Contract. And this is actually in reverse. This is a major theme in your life. This is temporary. This is major. And this is coming out in the shadow. So something must be emerging. Okay. In the shadow, this is about guilt-based service, karmic entanglement, spiritual obligation, over responsibility, burnout, unconscious vows, soul fatigue, and spiritual resignation. So in the shadow, the soul contract can reflect the weight of unhealed obligation. You may feel bound to serve in a way that drains you, uphold roles that no longer resonate, or sacrifice your own well-being for others' evolution. This is the martyr wound masquerading as purpose. You may also carry vows that are outdated, such as poverty vows, silence vows, or codes of spiritual servitude that no longer serve your oversoul's path. This is about servitude. This is about servitude, okay? These unconscious promises can keep you looping in exhaustion, guilt, or energetic bondage. Sometimes soul contracts are complete before the mind catches up. If this card appears, you're resisting release. So ask yourself, is this still mine to carry? Which means you're probably trying to carry the burdens of other people. You might still be in this place of trying to fix people, heal people, save people, because you think that your purpose is tied to you being needed, or you being helpful, or you trying to save, fix, heal people. Not every sacred agreement is eternal. Some are fulfilled when you reclaim your freedom, which means it's not really your job to save, fix, or heal people in this environment. It's your job to save, fix, and heal you, and to embody the example that you want to see in the world. Okay. So this card invites deep discernment and compassion. Some contracts can now be completed. So you don't have to stay committed to the version that you've always been. Allow yourself to grow and evolve. But in order for you to grow and evolve, you have to be willing to look at life through a different lens and release whatever is no longer serving you. Okay. Others must be written into alignment with your current sovereignty, which means, your soul did come here to serve, but it was not supposed to suffer endlessly for that service, right? It's also telling you, don't confuse loyalty with imprisonment. Be loyal to yourself first, okay? And then you are loyal to other people. But loyal to yourself first. If it requires you to abandon yourself, it requires you to betray yourself, then baby, that ain't what you're supposed to be doing. All right, so that was for Fee. Hey, Tanique. So that was for Fee. Who is next? All right. Okay, so I see who's next here. Who's next? Let's do Kenny. Oh, no, hold on. Wait a second. We skipped Memory. Let's do Memory. This is for you, Memory. It's so crazy to me that they restricted my live. Very lame. I have half a mind to exit out of it and come back, because why would you do that? Very lame of you. Anywho, so what I get for you, Memory, is the Waiting Flame, which again is about patience, my love. It's about patience. It's about trusting in your time, and it's about taking a sacred pause. It's about tending to growth. the process of devotion, and a long-term vision that needs to be so rooted in faith. Okay. And so the seven of stone arrives when the soil has been tilled, the seeds have been planted, and now the sacred task is waiting. Okay. This is the moment between effort and reward where your soul work is growing beneath the surface. It cannot yet be seen, but it's not stagnant. It is becoming. I think oftentimes we think that slowness means stagnation, and that's not true. Slowness is the feminine field, which means that you're stepping into the oceanic frequency, which is the frequency of alignment. And so when we talk about flow, right, we're talking about water. It's an oceanic frequency, which means it goes through cycles. And if you're not getting the results that you want, it does not mean that you are failing. It means that you're in a different part of the cycle, and you just need to weather the storm and wait and be patient, because the tide is going to turn, right? And so it's not stagnant, it's becoming. This card reminds you that not all growth is visible. Some of the most powerful transformations happen in the dark, within the root system beneath the surface of your life. So the waiting flame teaches that divine timing is not a punishment, it's protection. It ensures your flame rises when you're ready to carry it. So when you pull this card, you're being asked to remain steadfast and to remain faithful. Tend your garden without forcing it to bloom, which means the only real control is releasing control, right? So water what's working and trust what you've planted. Okay. The lesson here is just because you can't see it does not mean it's not growing. Okay. I have been doing work, so this makes sense. Okay, good. Good. So next is Bridget. There we go. We got the Temple card for you, Bridget. So this is the Temple card. She's gorgeous. Okay. Just so you can see her. Period. So the Temple is about stability. It's about anchoring. It's about sanctuary. It's about integration. It's about soul rooting and celebration too. Okay. So the four flame marks the sacred pause. The flame has landed. It's no longer just becoming. It is. This card signifies a moment of inner stability and external anchoring where the path of purpose takes on a visible, grounded shape. The Temple is both energetic and physical. It may show up as a new home, a soul-aligned relationship, a project that's ready to hold others, or an inner sanctuary you finally come to trust. It is also a place of celebration, a moment to honor how far your flame has come without asking it to burn harder, right? So it's not about productivity, right? It's not about doing more. It's about noticing where you are and staying present in that moment, right? So here, remembrance becomes embodiment. The Temple rises not from striving, but from devotion. And so the lesson here is when the flame is being honored, it roots into sanctuary. Okay, so that means that you're in this place of integration. You're in this place where you are aligning to who you truly are on the inside. Okay, and you need to make sure that your inside is a sanctuary for you, a safe place, a home. Okay. Yes, I will, my love. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I go in order so I don't miss anybody. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay. I'm doing well. How are you? All right. So now we have Kenny. Let's get Kenny real quick. What do we have for Kenny? So this is Sienna Rose. Ooh, sorry, the song just changed. Carry Me Through the Quiet. Sienna Rose. Carry Me Through the Quiet. Yes, I'm just going in order. All right. This is for Kenny. So what I get for you is the Knight of Breath, and this is actually coming out in the shadow side as well, okay? And so this is about a sharp tongue. This is about forceful speech, spiritual arrogance, overexertion, using the truth as a weapon. Okay. So in the shadow, the Knight of Breath becomes impatient and reactive. You may be rushing to speak before fully listening or using truth to dominate rather than connect. The mind becomes a sword that cuts indiscriminately, sometimes out of fear, sometimes pride. There's also a reckless or a risk of spiritual eliteness. I know better, so I must say it, right? The breath becomes heavy, quick becomes careless. And this is a mere moment where you need to ask yourself, are you moving from clarity or from ego dressed in wisdom? The advice is truth without compassion is just another weapon. Okay. And so this is basically asking you to evaluate what place you're moving from and whether or not you're speaking from your wounds or you're speaking from your heart, and understanding that when you are talking to other people, that you always run the risk of fracturing somebody's identity or projecting your truth onto them. And so it's asking you to stop and to pause and to make sure you're moving from the place of compassion, because you're speaking to people, you know? And so that was for Kenny. Tell Asha I said, hey, no, I haven't got I haven't got around to it yet, love. All right. So the next one is for you pressed yet. Okay. So for you pressed yet, what I get for you is the Queen of Breath, and this is the breath mirror. Okay. And this is about embodied discernment. It's about sacred speech, quiet power, inner knowing, intuitive clarity, and also energetic boundaries. Okay. So the Queen of Breath doesn't just speak truth, she embodies it. Her presence alone communicates clarity. She's moved beyond performance and now trusts her resonance more than her words. When this card appears, it reflects a phase of powerful inner knowing where your truth no longer needs to be defended, only held. She discerns precisely, speaks rarely, and when she does, the air shifts. The Queen teaches that discernment is not judgmental, it is alignment. You may find yourself shedding the need to prove, explain, or win. You simply are, and your presence becomes the message. And so the lesson here is true clarity does not have to perform, it emanates, right? And so this is about getting out of that energy of trying to prove or trying to convince other people or trying to show that you are right, and instead accepting your truth for what it is and not needing other people to kind of agree with that space. Okay. You are welcome, Fee. Okay, let me go back to YouTube real quick. All right, so next I have Let's Get Woo Woo podcast. Let's Get Woo Woo. This is for you. And then I'm coming back to do Cody. All right. Let's get woo woo. We got the Mirror Priestess, and this is actually a life theme. Like, this is a major theme. Okay. This is coming out of alignment, though, in the shadow. And so this is about self-doubt. It's about spiritual repression, a fear of inner truth, blocked intuition, overshadowed insight, a fear of being seen, or a mistrust of the feminine power. Okay. And what you got to understand about the feminine power is that the feminine power is presence, right? And presence is the energy of receptivity, which means you have to be fully feeling, which means you have to be fully embodied, right? And so in the shadow, the Mirror Priestess reflects a disconnect from her inner knowing. You may be doubting your gifts or silencing parts of yourself because they don't make sense or aren't validated externally. This is the wound of intuition denied. This card also appears when you are over identifying with other people's projections. Perhaps you've been deferring to external authority, mistrusting the subtle, quiet knowing that has long stirred within. This card may reflect a lifetime or many of being ridiculed, disbelieved, or even punished for your intuitive gifts. The veil feels thick. You may also be playing small to avoid triggering other people with your sight. You might be afraid to trust what's rising within you, especially if it challenges the identities, beliefs, or systems that you have known. Or perhaps your dreams are intensifying, but you brush them aside as nonsense. This card reminds you your truth does not require permission. The Mirror Priestess is in shadow often appears when you are ready to reclaim your intuitive sovereignty, but still fear what may surface in the reflection. She is not here to wound you. She is here to help you remember that your truth, no matter how quiet, is divine. Sometimes we fear what we know because knowing means we must change. The mirror priestess gently holds space for that fear, and she doesn't let you stay there. She says you are safe to be seen. And so the advice for this card is don't wait for proof. What you feel is real enough to honor it. And don't hide your gifts to stay palatable to other people. Okay. Oh, Vanessa. Hey, girl. Gotcha. So that was for you, my love. Next is Cody. A lot of that resonates. Thank you. You're welcome, my love. Trust yourself. You got this. You are the magic. You are the gifts. You know, if we think that we don't have something, meaning like I don't have money, we separate ourselves from the flow of sacred exchange. I don't have gifts. We separate ourselves from our gifts, right? You are the thing because you're not separate from your reality. So you are gifted. You are the gift itself. The gift is not out there somewhere. You don't need to search for the gift. The gift is in here, you know? All right, so this is for Cody. What do we got for Cody? So Cody, what I got for you is the Nine of Stone, the self-anointed one, okay? And he is coming out in shadow as well. So this is about over-isolation. It's about hyper-independence, fear of vulnerability, a mistrust in other people, rejection of support, or scarcity of connection. In the shadow, the self-anointed one can become the self-exiled one. You may be holding too tightly to your independence, equating sovereignty with separation. Perhaps you've been burned in the past and now believe that only solitude is safe. You may fear that accepting help dilutes your power. Alternatively, you might doubt your own readiness, standing at the edge of your harvest, but afraid to step into it fully. This card whispers, you don't have to do it alone to be worthy. You don't have to refuse love to remain whole. I think a lot of people confuse separation for sovereignty, meaning like the only time you find peace or safety is when you're separating from other people. And what happens is we stay there too long, not realizing that that's spiritual bypassing, because your safety is about how you show up, not about other people. And so it is your responsibility to make sure that you are safe, whether you're standing in the middle of the storm or you are at home. Like you need to be safe in chaos as well, which comes through you setting healthy boundaries, you speaking up for yourself, you telling people what your needs are, right? So the self-anointed one reminds you that sovereignty is not separation. It is a rootedness that allows connection without collapse. Okay, meaning that you don't collapse your boundaries just because it's easier and it's more convenient, right? And so the advice is you were never meant to carry everything without being witnessed. You actually came here to be witnessed. And so you have to witness yourself first and then allow yourself to be witnessed by other people. Okay. So that was Cody. You are so very welcome. Okay, I got you, Laura and Lisa. Makes perfect sense. Okay, good, Bridget. Oh, good. I love that for you. Okay, so next will be Lisa there. Let me see who's on YouTube. Okay, so this one is for Samantha. This one is for Samantha. So Samantha, I got the Queen of Water for you as well. I don't know if you were on when I did this one, so I'm just going to do it again. The Queen of Water is about emotional depth. It's about intuitive mastery, inner wisdom, sacred boundaries, radiant empathy, soul reflection. Okay, so it's the Queen of Waters is the embodiment of emotional wisdom, one who has walked through every wave, felt it all, and still chooses to remain open. She reflects without absorbing. She loves without losing herself. When the card appears, you're being called into emotional sovereignty. You're not being asked to shut down. You're being asked to hold your water with grace. The Queen is a healer, a mystic, an empath who knows that her sensitivity is not weakness, but a gift. Her emotional body is a mirror. Others see themselves in her presence. She teaches not by force, but by embodied example. And so this card is a reminder to return to your own inner waters. Let them nourish you before you offer your cup to another, which means you need to make sure your emotional needs are met first before you try to help someone else with what they're going through emotionally. And so the lesson is your compassion is powerful, but only when it includes you, which means the same compassion that you're giving everybody else, you also need to extend that to yourself. Okay. That was for Samantha. This next one is for Lisa. Okay. Miss Lisa, Miss Lisa, Miss Lisa. What I get for you, Lisa, is the Four of Stone. But she is coming out again in the shadow. And so this is about a fear of loss, a lack mindset. This is about energetic stinginess, mistrust, overprotection, or isolation. In the shadow, the Four of Stone becomes a locked vault. You may be clinging too tightly to time, energy, money, or attention, afraid there won't be enough if you open your hand. This card reflects a mistrust of abundance, often rooted in past scarcity or betrayal. You might also be holding your gifts too close, afraid to share them in case they're misunderstood, stolen, or undervalued. While it's wise to move with discernment, the guarded flame can become a prison when built from fear. This card in shadow invites a deep breath, a softening, a remembering that true security doesn't come from withholding, it comes from alignment. And so the advice is you're not safe because you hide, you're safe because you trust. And so there's a energy of moving from fear into trust again, which means that you have to allow people to show up for you. You got to tell people what you need. You got to allow yourself to be witnessed. Okay. So that was for Lisa. You're welcome, Kenny. All right. So this one is for Laura. Laura loves always. All right. So for you, Laura, I get the Seven of Water. Okay. And this is the illusion pool. And so this is about temptation. It's about fantasy. It's about having multiple desires, confusion, emotional overwhelm, and discernment. So the Seven of Water reveals a moment of choice within a field of emotional possibility. You may be faced with many paths, people, or soul desires, and yet the more you look, the harder it becomes to feel clear. This card arrives when your heart is stirred, but your discernment is clouded. Not every cup is meant to be drank from. Some are offerings, some are distractions, and some are mirrors of your unspoken longing. This is a sacred moment of emotional sorting. So the waters shimmer with fantasy, potential, illusion, and truth, but only one leads into deeper remembrance. You're being asked to slow down and feel beneath the surface of your desires. Which path feels like soul resonance, not ego escape? So the lesson here is desire is holy, but when it's truly yours. And so you need to evaluate what you actually want. Get to know yourself, explore yourself a little bit more and understand that not everything that comes your way is meant for you. Some things are just meant to distract you. Some things are meant to show you what it is that's important to you or what you are burying when it comes to your desires, right? And so this is about getting to know yourself and making sure that you're moving from your truth and not from ego. And ego is the part of you that wants to protect you from things. And ego is the part of you that is going to move from this place of fear and scarcity. Whereas figuring out what you actually truly want is more important because that is more sustainable. Okay. So that was for Laura Loves Always. Oh, shit. Let me go back. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Thank you. I'm stepping into that. Okay, good, Cody. I love that for you. Hi. Yes, I go live often, but they be hiding me from the world. My live right now is being restricted. Haters. All I can say. But hey, girl, welcome. I'm doing one card pulls right now if anybody else wants some. Thank you. I was just called to that. Oh, good. Good. I love that. Gotcha. You are welcome, love. So yeah. Did you want a one card pull? Is it Oka? I am Oka Milux. Oka May. Okay. Hi, Oka. Oka me. Okay, me. Oka me. Am I saying that right? Okay. Okay, me. I like that. Okay, me. Okay, I got you. I'm almost done cleaning. Had to take a pause and cook. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here today and do some readings. Hey Laura, just because yesterday I know I said that I was gonna do it, but my client ran a little late, and my mama called me. It was just a whole thing. And so I just wanted to hop on, say hi, and just, follow up with you guys because I didn't get a chance to do that yesterday. Um, so yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll do a card for you, my love. Let's see what we have for you. And these cards are from my Oversoul Codex. This is something I created, a soul encoded system that kind of mimics tarot structure, but so different. It's kind of like the deeper meaning behind stuff. Ooh, okay. We get the flame. Okay, I got you, Laura. We get the flame gatekeeper for you. All right. This is about protection. It's about energetic boundaries, discernment, sacred defense, inner authority, and guardianship. So the seven of flame is the call to protect what you have built, not from fear, but from discernment. At this stage, your flame has become potent enough to draw attention, inquiry, and perhaps resistance. You're being asked to stand at the threshold of your sacred fire and decide what enters, what stays, and what must leave. This is not about defense through aggression. It is guardianship through clarity, meaning like you understand yourself so much that you understand what you want to allow and what you don't want to allow in your reality. The gatekeeper is the inner sovereign. It holds the truth that not all feedback is truth, not all energy is meant to be held, and not every invitation is aligned. You're being called to trust your instincts, refine your boundaries, and remember, your flame is not for everyone, but it is for someone. Okay. So the lesson here is your flame remains pure, not by isolation, but by integrity. And this goes back to us confusing separation for sovereignty. Just because we feel safe in separation, we think the only way for us to remain in a state of peace is to separate ourselves from other people. But that's not where peace and safety comes from. It comes from being able to speak up for yourself, setting boundaries, and holding your integrity, not collapsing into other people's projections or what other people need and abandoning yourself in the process. And so this is about you figuring out what's aligned with you and what's not aligned with you, and trusting in that discernment and refining your boundaries. Okay. All righty. Oops, I'm sorry. This one is for Laura Carey, Miss Carey. All right, let's see. What do we got for our girl Laura? All right, so for you, my love, we get the Two of Flame, but it's coming out in reverse. The Two of Flame is about the mirror flame, okay? And so this is about projection, enmeshment, self-loss, codependence, or false flame. Okay, I got you, Rakeem. In the shadow, the mirror flame distorts. You may become entangled in another's fire, mistaking their light for your own. This can manifest as projection, idolization, obsession, or fear of being alone. The flame of another becomes louder than your own inner voice. Sometimes this card appears when you're chasing a flame outside of you because you don't trust your own to be enough. The lesson is not to reject the mirror, but to purify it. Your fire is not here to be eclipsed by other people. It's here to be honored. And so the advice is, if the flame you chase makes you disappear, it is not your path. It's your reflection asking you to be reclaimed. Okay. Hey, Rhonda. Yes, I have you, Tallulah. So that was for Laura. This is for Tallulah. Okay. So for Tallulah, we get the Three of Flame. Okay. And so the Three of Flame is about your path. It's about momentum, alignment, outward expression, expansion, and creative motion. And so the Three of Flame is a sign that your flame has found its rhythm. What was once internal, the spark, the mirror, is now being felt and seen in your outer world. You are in motion and the flame path is opening before you. There is alignment, forward movement, and a growing sense of purpose, but this card often arises when your inner work begins to crystallize into form, whether that be a creative project, a new role, an offering, or a vision made tangible. The flame pathway asks you to trust your unfolding without rushing it. This is not a time to grasp or control the outcome. It's a time to walk in resonance with your flame and let it illuminate the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. So it's about staying rooted in your purpose and not performance. And the lesson is to let your flame lead, not your need for validation. And so this is about you realizing that you don't need to do more. You need to trust more. You need to trust in your path. Trust that you are making the decisions that you're supposed to be making, and you're going to get the outcome that you want. But don't be too focused on the outcome that you become dissatisfied with where you are right now. Take it one step at a time and break it up, and really, really trust in your instincts. Okay. And so that was for Tallulah. You are welcome. Sorry, I gotta change the playlist. All right. Thank you. That ties into the meditation I had this morning where I was at the medicine place, and before I started my healing, I was surrounded by mirrors. Those mirrors are reflections of me. Oh wow. Oh good. Well, I'm glad I was able to give you some confirmation. This one is for Rakeen. This is for Rakeen. What do we have for Rakeen? Okay. So for Rakeen, we have the Ten of Waters. Okay. And this is about your flame family. Okay. So the Ten of Waters is about soul kin. It's about emotional harmony. It's about heart belonging and chosen family. It's about fulfillment and inner union and wholeness. And so the Ten of Waters is the culmination of emotional sovereignty, a return to soul-connected community, partnership, or inner union. It marks a time when the heart space is at peace, not because it's alone or attached, but because it has found its reflection in other people who remember. This is not about blood family. It's about your flame family, beings, guides, or soul allies who see your essence and say, we know you. It may manifest as sacred partnership, deep friendship, or even an inner feeling of being held by spirit. It's the reminder that you do not walk alone. And so sometimes this card points to inner harmony, which is the balancing of the masculine and feminine energies, or the completion of a personal healing cycle that allows for true receptivity. You are no longer searching, you are arriving. And so the lesson here is when you know who you are, your soul can find you. And so anytime I see this is about completing a cycle. And what this card is, what you need to understand about this card is that the more that you know yourself, the more that you can move in alignment in your relationships, because a lot of us will again choose isolation because we think that's the only way for us to be safe. But that's moving from a place of thinking that we cannot get what we want in relationships. And that's just not true. You need to understand yourself more so that you can understand what you value, what you allow in your reality, and what you don't. And when you move into those relationships, then you won't be in this place of self-abandonment or where you have to compromise because you look at a person and without healing, fixing, or saving them, you realize whether or not they're in alignment with you or not, right? And so this is about really truly getting to know yourself, because when you know who you are, you can find people who naturally align with that. Okay, so that was for Rakeen. All right, y'all, you're welcome, Tallulah. So I'm about to head out because I have a client in about 20 minutes. So I just wanted to hop on here again and just catch up with you guys real quick. This will be on YouTube if y'all want to check it out or go back and rewatch the reading or whatever. I want y'all to have an amazing rest of y'all week. I might be on here Sunday or Saturday or something of the sort, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. Okay. But I just wanted to keep my word because yesterday I didn't get a chance to hop back on here and do the readings like I said I would. Okay. So have an amazing rest of y'all night. I will talk to y'all later. You are welcome, my love. Have a good night. You're welcome, D. Bye, y'all.